Hello, this is Alan. I'm a TAE tutor, and in this video, I'll be going through an overview for designing and developing training. In this video, a couple of key points that I'm going to be covering. I'll be introducing 4 essential elements of a training design. We'll look at 3 levels of planning documents that is used to describe training. I'll give an outline of a process for designing and developing training, and also describe the relationship between 2 relevant TAE design units. This video is being shown on my YouTube channel. It's on Target Work Skills, so be very happy if you can engage with it, liking, commenting, sharing, and if you haven't already subscribed, I'll be really pleased if you could subscribe to this YouTube channel. More videos are going to be uploaded. In regards to what is the relationship between the 2 design units that are core units for the Certificate 4 in Training Assessment, the first unit that will usually be covered is use nationally recognised training products to meet vocational training needs. What is major things that you would do during this unit would be selecting an appropriate qualification, skill set or unit to meet particular training needs. You would use qualification packaging rules to select elective units and cluster and determine the sequence for delivering units. I have already uploaded 2 videos covering how to use qualification packaging rules and also how to cluster and sequence units. The end result of those 2 videos I'm showing on the screen now. It was a scenario case study about a cafe worker. The appropriate qualification would be a Certificate 2 in hospitality, and on the video I showed how to select, and then on a second video how to sequence those units, and as I'm showing on the screen now was the end product of those 2 videos. Now, the next part of the relationship of these 2 design units is that once you have used the nationally recognised training products to meet a training need, the next thing would be to design and develop plans. This unit, which is design and develop plans for vocational training, you would design, develop and document a training plan for group learning that covers an entire unit. In actual fact, the requirements of that unit is that you'd have to have a training plan that would cover 2 entire units. And the other thing you'll do is design and develop and document training session plans. Now, what can get confusing is different planning documents that relate to training. So I'm now going to show a hierarchy of planning documents. RTOs will have a document that describes their training and assessment strategy. This is often referred to as a TAS, T-A-S, as a next layer of information or detail in regards to the delivery of training. They may vary in name, but let's call them a training plan. And there would be a training plan for each unit or cluster of units. And for more detail, there would be a plan for every training session. So let's have a look at these 3 levels of planning documents that are used to describe training. So the training assessment strategy describes how an RTO plans to deliver an entire qualification or skill set or a standalone unit. And a standalone unit, for example, would be first aid. Often the first aid unit is delivered by itself. So there would be a TAS, a training and assessment strategy, describing at a high level how the RTO plans to deliver the training. Then there would be training plans that would then be how the RTO plans to deliver a unit or a cluster of units within a qualification or skill set. And where there's even more detail would be training session plans that describes how each training session would be delivered. Okay, so going back to the scenario with the cafe worker and the appropriate qualification being Certificate 2 in hospitality, the way it was clustered and then sequenced is that there are 5 clusters. So there was a safety cluster with 3 units, a service cluster with 3 units, a stock unit, just covering the one unit, preparation of beverages, which was a cluster of 2 units, and personal effective, which had 3 units. That would mean that in this scenario, that there'd be a total of 5 training plans, 1 for each unit or cluster of units. The next thing I'm now showing on the screen, it is an example of a training agenda. So let's say a unit or a cluster of units was going to be delivered over 5 days. So just as an indicative view of how an agenda might look for those 5 days, I have on the screen where the table has 5 columns. Each column is for a day. And then in a day, 3 training sessions before lunch and 3 training sessions after lunch. So what a training plan would do is describe all of those 5 days. And in this particular example, there would be 30 sessions that would be involved in these 5 days. So the training plan covers everything that's there. Now, the next level of detail would be in a session plan. So I'm just highlighting here for the first session on day 1, that would be covered by a session plan. So if in this scenario, that would mean that there would be 30 session plans. Okay. In regards to essential elements of a training design, I've identified 4 major things for us to be always considering: time, the content that we're going to be delivering, the learning activities that will be involved, and the resources we need for the training and for our learners' learning. And in future videos, I'll be exploring in more detail these 4 essential elements of training design. I'm showing now a 5-step process for designing and developing training. The first 4 steps of this 5-step process relate to the development of a training plan that would cover an entire unit or a cluster of units. The 5th step would be then developing training session plans. I will be producing more videos covering each of these steps in more detail. Now, in conclusion, there are 3 levels of planning documents that may be used by RTOs to describe training. Training and assessment strategy, that would be outside of the scope of a Certificate 4 in Training Assessment, but certainly what you would do if you're studying for your Certificate 4 in Training Assessment, you will be producing a training plan and you will be producing training session plans. Just this reminder that I have a simple 5-step process for designing and developing training. It is a real process. I have been using this sort of approach for decades. It works. So it is a real process that will work in a real world, and also it will work for a person who is studying their Certificate 4 in Training and Assessment. So if you're wanting to be notified of new videos that get uploaded, in particular what I've already covered in this brief video, please subscribe to my YouTube channel On Target Work Skills. If you'd like more information, you can go to my website, ontargetworkskills.com. I provide a tutoring service. So if you're wanting to get in touch to find out a bit more about my tutoring service for people who are doing their Certificate 4 in Training Assessment, feel free to give me a contact. And the best way is the email TAE40122.tutoring@gmail.com. Thank you.